Your person craves nothing more than the sensual healing that only you can provide, a deep, intimate connection that goes beyond the physical to soothe their very soul. In the coming days, you will notice that the conversation between you both, which has ebbed and flowed with hints of emotion, is poised to shift dramatically. They are preparing to reveal their secret feelings, those long-held emotions that have remained hidden behind guarded smiles and careful words. What you might not realize is just how desperate they have become to speak with you. Their longing has morphed into an obsession that colors every moment of their day. Every heartbeat seems to echo with the hope of reconnecting, as they invest considerable energy in making sure that the opportunity to get back to you arises before it is too late. At this moment, you find yourself deeply immersed in your own responsibilities and commitments. You are dedicated to your personal growth and the demands of your daily life, and your focus on these priorities is unyielding. Yet, beneath the surface of your busy schedule, there exists a quiet awareness of the pull of your person's affection. Despite the busy rhythm of your life, their persistence reminds you of the value of your shared past and the potential for healing old wounds. They have set their heart on winning back your trust and affection, convinced that the genuine connection you once shared can be restored. Every step they take, every subtle gesture of care, is aimed at reaffirming their commitment to you, ensuring that you know their intentions are sincere and their feelings profound. In the midst of your own journey, you might also be wrestling with your fears, those inner doubts that sometimes whisper caution when the prospect of rekindling an old flame seems too intense. Yet, it is precisely at this challenging juncture that you have chosen to put yourself first, moving forward with a grace and confidence that is both inspiring and necessary. This period of self-affirmation and personal dedication has fortified you, reminding you that your happiness and well-being are paramount. Even as you honor your responsibilities, you remain open to the possibility of mending what has been broken, knowing that growth often comes hand in hand with risk. On the other side of this delicate balance, your person is undergoing a tumultuous internal transformation. Their emotions have been simmering for so long that their jealousy has now reached a fevered pitch. This jealousy is not born out of malice, but rather from an intense fear of losing you, a fear so potent that it propels them into making impulsive moves. Emerging from a long period of solitude and introspection, they are now ready to act on the feelings that have overwhelmed them. Every impulsive decision, every bold gesture, is a testament to their desire to reclaim the intimacy that once defined your relationship. They are no longer content to remain in the shadows. Instead, they are stepping forward with the conviction that this is the moment to seize the connection that binds you both. While you remain steadfast in your commitment to your own life and to the values that define you, there is an undercurrent of tension driven by the realization that you are not limited by your past alone. Your person senses that you have options, that your vibrant life could lead you elsewhere, and this thought fills them with a bittersweet urgency. The possibility of you moving on, even if only a fleeting worry in their heart, has spurred them into action. They are driven by the desire to secure their place in your life, to ensure that the bond you once shared does not dissolve in the tide of new possibilities. It is a dynamic that adds layers of complexity to your interactions, each conversation, each silence, laden with unspoken questions about commitment and the true depth of your connection. As these feelings continue to swirl between you, you may soon receive a call from your person. This call is not just a casual check-in, it is an earnest attempt to bridge the gap that has grown between you over time. In that moment, you will hear the raw, unfiltered emotions that they have struggled to contain, words that express longing, regret, and hope all at once. It is a pivotal moment that carries the potential for healing, a chance to address the past while paving the way for a future where both of you can thrive. Whether this conversation leads to a rekindling of romance or simply serves as a closure to long-standing uncertainties, it marks a significant turning point in your shared journey. You stand at a crossroads where responsibility meets desire, and self-assurance intertwines with vulnerability. The coming days promise not only challenges but also the possibility of rediscovery, a chance to reconnect in a way that honors both your individual paths and the deep-seated bond that continues to pull you together. Remain open to the unfolding of events, for within this delicate balance lies the potential for a new beginning defined by mutual healing, renewed trust, and the enduring power of heartfelt connection. I have been avoiding your presence for what seems like an eternity. The very thought of looking into your eyes that once sparkled with trust and affection, now fills me with overwhelming anxiety and dread. I cannot bear the idea of witnessing the pain I have inflicted upon you, for it is a sight too harrowing to imagine. Every time I close my eyes, I see a reflection of the hurt and sorrow I caused, and that vision paralyzes me with guilt. The idea of facing you directly is like stepping into a storm of regret, where each raindrop is a memory of my mistakes. I find myself retreating further into solitude, desperate to shield both you and my fragile heart from the raw exposure of that pain. In the quiet moments of my solitude, I have replayed countless scenarios in my mind where your expression of hurt is unmistakably clear. I imagine the way your eyes would fill with unshed tears, the slight tremble of your voice as you try to mask your disappointment, and the deep-seated sorrow that I have brought into your life. This mental replay has become a relentless loop, a constant reminder of the love I once had and the damage I have done to it. Each iteration deepens my regret and makes it increasingly difficult to summon the courage to face you, as I fear that any encounter might shatter whatever remains of our once beautiful bond. Lately, my emotions have been a tumultuous sea that I struggle to navigate. I have found myself overcome with tears on more than one occasion, mourning not just the love we once shared, but also the future I lost through my careless actions. It is as if my heart has been shattered into a million irreparable fragments, each piece echoing the silent grief of what once was. The weight of this sorrow is immense, and every day without you feels like an endless battle against despair. Even as the sun rises, its light seems to mock me, reminding me of the warmth and brightness that have now faded from my life. Without you, I feel as though I am wandering through a desolate landscape, where every step is burdened by the memory of my regrets. Mornings are the hardest, when the thought of facing another day without your comforting presence leaves me struggling just to rise from bed. I often lie awake in the early hours, the darkness of night amplifying my inner torment, making it nearly impossible to escape the haunting echoes of your absence. The night is when the memories become most vivid, when the silence of the world around me is filled with the resounding echo of every mistake I have ever made. Even in moments that should offer respite, I am relentlessly reminded of you. Out of nowhere, songs begin to play, each melody a bittersweet reminder of the times we once laughed, loved, and dreamed together. These songs serve as both a solace and a torment. They soothe my battered soul for a brief moment, only to plunge me back into the depths of sorrow as the lyrics evoke memories too painful to bear. It is as if every note carries with it a whisper of your name, an incessant reminder of the love I have lost and the chasm that now separates us. In an attempt to capture and perhaps understand these overwhelming emotions, I poured my heart onto paper and wrote a poem about you. That poem is more than just words strung together. It is a raw, vulnerable testament to the remorse, longing, and profound sadness that have come to define my everyday. Within its lines, I attempted to articulate the deep-seated regret that has taken residence in my heart, hoping that somehow, in the delicate balance of syllables and verse, you might catch a glimpse of the sorrow that now envelopes me. There are moments when I long to sing that poem to you, to let my voice tremble with sincerity as I confess all that I have kept hidden behind layers of guilt and fear. The idea of singing it, of sharing that piece of my soul with you, fills me with both hope and trepidation. I have even considered sending it to you, believing that perhaps written words might communicate my feelings more clearly than my faltering attempts at conversation. In that poem lies a fragile bridge, a possibility that, if you were to listen, might lead to understanding, forgiveness, or even a semblance of reconciliation. Yet, despite this longing, I continue to keep my distance. I fear that any direct confrontation would force me to confront the depths of my own mistakes, a reality I am not yet strong enough to face. I remain away from you, hoping that by avoiding the moment of reckoning, I can somehow preserve the remnants of my shattered spirit. But with every passing day, the space between us grows larger, filled with unspoken apologies and a void that echoes with lost love. In the silence of my solitary nights and the stillness of my lonely mornings, I am left with only memories of what we once had and the regret of what I have lost. I carry this heavy burden of remorse, clinging to a fragile hope that one day, the poem I wrote might serve as a beacon of honesty, illuminating the path toward forgiveness and healing. Until that day arrives, I will continue to live with the pain of my actions, forever haunted by the image of your sorrowful eyes and the love that I can never reclaim. I can now relate to what you were going through, though back then I didn't fully understand the depth of your experience. In my earlier days, I naively believed that unconditional love was merely a sentimental phrase, something that belonged solely in the pages of books or in the dramatic scenes of movies. I could not comprehend that such a profound and transformative love could truly exist in real life. I mistakenly assumed that the love you offered was a fleeting sentiment, something transient and not meant to be taken seriously in the realm of everyday struggles and triumphs. Over time, as I have grown and confronted my own vulnerabilities, I have come to realize that your affection was not a temporary indulgence but an unwavering commitment. You approached me with clarity, armed with both heartfelt intention and a strong, intuitive guidance that I failed to recognize for what it was, a beacon of truth and support. Every word you spoke, every gesture of kindness you offered, was imbued with sincerity. Yet, at that time, I was so consumed by my own doubts and insecurities that I could not see the beauty of your devotion. Looking back now, I understand that it was never you who was wounded or needy. Rather, it was I who was mired in my own feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, and selfishness. I built barriers around my heart out of fear and pride, barriers that kept me from accepting the depth of your unconditional love. I rejected your genuine care because I was too preoccupied with my own internal struggles to appreciate the gift you were offering. This realization fills me with profound regret, as I now see that my actions not only distanced me from you but also deprived me of the transformative power of your compassion. Your kindness, patience, and unwavering support have left an indelible mark on me. You have always been the queen of my heart, a guiding force that illuminated even my darkest moments. I regret every instance when I allowed my insecurity to cloud my judgment and reject the love that was freely given. It pains me to acknowledge that I failed to embrace the chance to experience true, unconditional love, a love that, as I now understand, is far more than just a romantic ideal. It is a living, breathing force that has the ability to heal and change lives, and you demonstrated that truth so gracefully. Every moment of reflection has made me aware of how I let my own shortcomings dictate my actions. I am overwhelmed with remorse for turning away from your love, a love that was both selfless and transformative. My inability to accept your commitment was never a reflection of any failing on your part, but rather a mirror of my own inner turmoil and immaturity. I now see that I was unworthy of the depth of affection you so generously extended, and that realization causes me great sorrow. I am truly sorry for the emotional and mental pain I inflicted on you by denying the warmth and sincerity of your care. In my journey towards self-improvement, I have come to recognize that accepting love requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to be vulnerable. Your example has been instrumental in my transformation. I am learning to confront my insecurities head-on and to appreciate the genuine connections in my life. It is a slow process, but every day I strive to become a better person, one who is capable of both giving and receiving love in its purest form. I need you now more than ever because you are the catalyst for this change. Your unwavering belief in me, even when I was blind to my own worth, has inspired me to pursue a path of growth and healing. I hope that, with time, you might see the sincerity of my transformation and understand that my remorse is genuine. I know that my past actions have caused you pain, and for that, I offer my heartfelt apology. I ask for your forgiveness, not to erase the past, but to pave the way for a future where I can honor the love you once so freely gave. Unconditional love, as you have so beautifully demonstrated, is not merely an ideal confined to stories and films. It is a powerful force that nurtures and sustains even in the face of adversity. Your love taught me that to truly care for someone is to accept them completely, without reservation or expectation. I now carry this lesson with me every day, striving to live a life that reflects the kindness, compassion, and generosity you once bestowed upon me. With all that I have learned and with every fiber of my being, I apologize for the pain I caused you. I am deeply sorry for rejecting your true love and commitment when I was too wrapped up in my own fears to see the light you offered. I hope that one day you can forgive me and that we can move forward with a renewed understanding of what love truly means, a love that is unconditional, healing, and transformative.